Welcome. My name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr. I was born July 4th, 1986. I want to say thank you for tuning in to try to figure out some more about your dog. As much as I want to talk about some dogs today, I got to talk about, us as human beings in reality to be able to, we, a lot of us are looking for that thing to like put on the dog to get the dog better. As opposed to like, what can I do? How can I change my thinking and change something that's going on with me to be able to make things around me to start to look better? Because a lot of times we're thinking like it's always like an external thing that we need to do as opposed to an internal thing. So today I want to talk about something that comes down to a word that someone gave me an interesting comment on one of my older videos on discipline. Talking about discipline in these dogs. And a lot of people, when you hear that word, you automatically kind of go towards like a negative thing, like a punishment type thing, like a corrective type thing, like something like that. In reality, that's got nothing to do with the discipline that we really need to understand about when it comes down to our own selves. Because it's something that is fascinating about this planet. The more that you get done, what you say that you're going to get done, everything around you just starts to look better. When you say you're going to clean the house and you clean the house is clean. There's no frustration going on here. But when you say you're going to clean it and you don't clean it week after week, or hopefully not week after week, but day after day, and you get to a point that you got like stuff around now. Now you start to get frustrated. You know where that frustration came from? Because you didn't do what you said you wanted to get done. Because you didn't discipline yourself to make it happen. Why? My dogs always are pretty much going to look really good. Not because of any training method, training this, training that, because I do the one thing that I know that they need, exercise. And I discipline myself to say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this every day. I don't care what's going on. I don't care the weather. I don't care nothing. I don't care how much I'm hurting. I don't care how sore I am. I don't care what's happening. I'm getting it done. And it's just not going to go like, no, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 days that I'm just not going to do something. I'm going to be doing something all the time. I discipline myself to make it happen. And since I did that on my own self, I noticed that the things on the outside started to look much, much better. I didn't just like put it off and hold it off and just say, I'll get there one day. I'll get there at some point. No, I made it happen. I got it done. And there's no reason for any frustration to come. This is where I think that a lot of us are struggling with these dogs because we say we're going to do something, then we don't do it. We say we're going to this, and then we don't make it happen. We say we're going to go here with them, and then we don't go here with them. We say we're going to change and spend more time with them, but we don't spend no more time with them. And then we start to see them do weird things. There's just one thing that, the dog, even hardcore working dogs, and when I say working dogs, all dogs at the end of the day, not all, almost all dogs at the end of the point were bred specifically for some sort of work purpose. So that they are all working dogs. It's just a matter of, are you using it in its purpose as opposed to just having a dog be a pet for you? So this is one thing that really goes on with these dogs is we want to get that dog to be in a better place, but we just hang out. So then the dog starts to frustrate you. And the frustration isn't because the dog is doing anything wrong. The dog's not doing anything wrong. I'm sorry to say this, but I'm almost going to slap a guarantee on that. The dog's, you're going to say, oh, the dog's biting me. The dog is this. No, you did not discipline yourself to get done to show that animal what it is that you were looking for. If you would actually slow down and actually communicate to them, you would see something. And this is the thing. We don't need to spend 24 hours a day with them. You just need to spend the time that you do and spend it with them and do what you said that you wanted to do and do it with them. That's it. It's as simple as that. But we don't do that simple little thing right there. When I say, hey, exercise your dog, just do it once a week. I call you up, I come back, I see what's going on. I didn't have time, this. It's like, well, why are we knowing and seeing and wondering why things are getting not so great and getting worse in reality? Because now you got the dog excited that, hey, we're going to do something. And I showed you how easy it is to do, and then we just don't do it. So the dog is just being a reflection in reality of how not disciplined we are as human beings. And the dog is going to be able to be a beautiful reflection of showing you a person who does what you say and what you think you're going to get done. Because the dog is just going to have no choice but to just naturally like want to give back. And it's just the way natural of this world that we're expecting like the outside stuff to be right and then we'll be good and then it'll be all right. No, that's just not the way this works. And I hope that I'm not the first person to say that, but if I am, like, no, that's not the way it works. You fix you figure out you get done, you make happen what you say you need to make happen, and then you're going to notice that things around you are going to start to look nicer and nicer. All the way back to going to the clean the house thing again. If you don't keep up with it, it's going to be chaos. And living in chaos, what happens in that? You're going to be losing things. You're going to not know what this is. You're going to try to go cook and you got no dishes because everything is just dirty and it's all a mess. And what is that going to do? It's going to lead you to frustration. And who are you going to get mad at? The plate? No, you're going to get mad at yourself. But it's crazy how we don't think about that with like other stuff around us, such as your kids, your spouse, your animals, anything. You look at the dog and say, oh, he didn't do this, and you're going to hound all on top of them. You're expecting them to be perfect, but yet you are far from that perfection. This is where I think most people are struggling with these dogs because we're expecting them to be what we're not even. And then you're putting high expectations on it that you couldn't even possibly achieve. So the dog isn't going to possibly be able to achieve it. So you're in a lose-lose situation. And this is just what I kind of see across the board with the majority of things out here. The more and more that you're just not doing anything. Because it's something that I hear this, I don't know why I hear this so much, people, but it's funny to me. It's interesting to me at the same time. And it's like someone trying to put out there like how much better that they are, but since they weren't able to keep up, it's all right. But all these big name trainers out here, they always show when they bring their dog in, they're like, oh, I've been busy, this, I've been able to work my dog, and that's why it's not going to look the best right now. And it's like, that is foolishness. You just have a dog that's just there that you're not doing anything with for weeks on end, and you think that dog's going to, no, the dog is what the dog is based on what you put into it. And if you don't put anything into it, it's going to show exactly what you're putting into it. That's something that is just I don't know why we don't see this as a human being, thinking that I'm going to fix the world as opposed to just fixing yourself and then the world will be fixed. And that's just the way that I don't know where this disconnect came from. And I would hope to like connect some people back into like real life. If you don't get done what you said you want to get done, even what you're thinking that you want to get done, and you're just dancing around, you're tiptoeing around it, but you don't make it happen, that's where frustration comes. And that's where anxiety comes. That's where all these issues come, because you start to run into a situation that you get on edge. And then what starts to happen? You don't trust your own self. You don't trust yourself because you didn't get anything done. So then when you can't trust yourself, you think you can trust somebody else? You're never going to be able to trust somebody else. You're going to be suspicious about everybody because you're going to assume that everybody is just like you, not disciplined, able to get stuff done, not able to follow through when they say they're going to get something done. So you're always on edge with everything that everyone is doing around you. And this is what happens with these dogs. You're on edge about everything that's going on with it because you're like, you couldn't get it done. So why would the dog be able to get it done? So then you start to put more pressure on the dog to try to make it look good and try to be good, but you don't put no pressure on yourself to say, I need to do more. I need to get more stuff done. I need to make something happen. I need to put in more time. I need to put more effort into this. I need to start to contemplate more on what it is that I actually want to be able to do and get done and actually do it and follow through with it. But we're looking at it in an opposite direction here. We're looking at it in a way that I got to fix that so then I'll be good to be able to fix myself. But at the end of the day, most people, you don't think that you have anything that you need to fix. You think you're perfect. You think everything is just right on and everything is great. And if that was the case, then not everything, but everything around you should be good to go in reality. And that's the part of me where all these different terms, this stuff out here is fascinating to me about people think that they're perfect. And if you were perfect, your life and everything that would come to you and surround you would be perfect, would look really, really good, would be real nice. But the reasoning on why we need more and more pressure, for instance, for dogs, is because we're not perfect. And because we need more and more and more because we're far, far, far from perfect. And we need more and more and more because we need to start to represent something that we know we can't actually be able to really be able to make happen. So then we got to make it look good in the moment so that someone can say, hey, everything is looking all right, as opposed to things actually being good and things actually being all right. And it comes down to the simple thing of the discipline on when your dog is doing something that you don't like. I'm telling you, you are not communicating nothing to that dog that it should pay any attention to you. You're not doing nothing for it. Because when you are, the dog is going to want to listen to what you have to say. But when you're like, hey, we'll go for a walk, and then you don't. Hey, we're going to go for a walk, and then you don't. Hey, we're going to go for a walk, and it's literally like, some of y'all, you think it's 2 days, but it's actually like 45 days later, I will finally do that walk. And then your dog is just looking at you like, dang, worthless human being, man. What are you doing? What are you doing? What you said we're going to do it, we're not doing it. You were going to make it happen, but you didn't make it happen. This is the thing that is fascinating because obviously the dogs don't know language. But if you're thinking about it at work, I want to do this when I get home and do this with the dog. And then you get home and you don't do that. That's where you're going to start to really see a disconnect happening here because the dog is reading something from you. You get home and you're like, hey, we're going to, and then your body starts to say his thing. And then you get into like I don't feel like I'm tired. I'm too tired. Then your dog's going to change and look at you like, woman, what's going on? Like you just said we was going to do this, but now you're not following through with that. And that's the thing that I think more of us really need to understand. Not looking at a level of discipline like I need to correct something out there. You need to correct yourself. You need to fix yourself. You need to punish yourself. You need to withhold something from yourself to say that I can't do this until I get this done. I can't do that until I get this done. I can't go over there until I make this happen over here. That's the main thing that we as humans really need to work on before we can even worry about trying to get the dogs to look good. Because if you could simply just say to yourself, because I can say to you right now how to have a nice dog. Get it out, take it for a walk, exercise it, let it run, get it going, make something happen, find the game for it, find the work for it, and just do that every single day. And you're going to see a dog that you're just like, I really like this dog now. Is it going to be perfect? No, because that's the cool thing. We're not perfect. And that's why we're always working and working and working and working and working to be able to get into a better place. If it was already perfect, you would just throw it away in reality because it would just be a robot. Everything would be so precise that you would just be there and it would be right, it would be on point, and you would like get bored with it in minutes. Some might say, oh no, I love that. No, you wouldn't. I'm telling you wouldn't. Because that's more likely why a lot of people, unfortunately, why you're still living in chaos, because you like it. You like it. You love the chaos. As soon as things look good, you're like, I gotta mess something up so that I can bring this chaos back in again. And that's the part where we have to discipline ourselves of what it is that we are actually wanting and desiring and looking for. Now, something that for some reason we just think, like most dog training that I hear is, it's just, this was a dog, 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 dog. As opposed to like looking at your own self and saying, how many times this last month did you get your dog some exercise? How many times this last month did you say that you're gonna do it, then you didn't do it? How many times did you actually like almost get into it and then just back out in the last moment? How many times did you say it was too cold, it was too hot, it was too rainy, it was too this, it was too that, it was too this, I don't know. I couldn't because of this, I was late, I was this. How many times did you do that? As opposed to actually getting things done. Because if you were actually getting things done, you wouldn't, I don't want to guarantee, but you are not going to have the same issues. You're just not. And that's the quality time that you have to spend with things to be able to get that back. Now, something that, if you don't know this, but you can't just put it in the house, let it sit on the couch, and think that that dog's going to be good to go. There's a rare dog that's like that. But most of these dogs, they do not work that way. They need something. They absolutely desire something. You can't put your kid in the closet and think that the closet is going to be able to give the kid the needs that it needs to be able to be a proper member to society. You got to do stuff with them. You got to make it happen. You got to show them what you're looking for. And the biggest thing is, a lot of us are coming at these dogs in a way of showing the dog what you don't want. Why don't you show the dog what you do want? Show the dog what you're looking for. So the dog can say, oh, that's what you're looking for? Let me just do that. And then when you keep doing that, you're going to notice that the dog is going to keep doing that. It literally is that simple. But we like to complicate things. And then me personally, I'm just really on the impression that we just really, really enjoy just living in this level of chaos, because we don't know what's going to happen next if we get out of it. We don't know what's over there. We don't know what's going to go down. We don't know how things are going to be. So we just want to stay where we are. And staying where you are is, it might be a good thing if it doesn't affect anybody else. But when it starts to affect other people and other things, that's when you start to have the issues. Because most time, not many people stand up and say, I need help with my dog, until it's at that last situation. And for most people, the last situation is the dog's biting you, dog's biting somebody else, the dog chewed up the entire house, the dog, that's when you're like, okay, I need help now, because now you can't just you can't hide it anymore. It's in the open to see. Everyone's seeing what's going on now. Now when it's open that everyone can see it, now it's like, now I need help. So in reality, you was fine and happy with the chaos until it got to a point that it was just like overwhelming, just crazy overwhelming, to the point that it broke everything, and it broke down everything, and it messed everything up. And you got a lawsuit coming your way because it bit the kid, it bit the this, it did that, it killed the neighbor's dog. Now you got a bigger situation happening. And that's, for some reason, I don't know why, but the main people that are looking for assistance with your dog. And for me, I'm going to say is, you like it. You like that chaos. You don't actually want it better. And one thing that I would want to be able to explain to somebody right now, if you want things around you to look better, you got to get better. You got to do more. You got to get done what you said you want to get done. You got to make happen what you said you want to make happen. You got to follow through with what it is you say you want to follow through with. That's discipline. When you are a disciplined person, things around you will be disciplined themselves, because they are going to follow along and be included with what it is that you're doing. When you say to the kid, I'll take you to the park, and you take them to the park, the kid's going to look at you and say, wow, I can count on you. I can I can rely on you. But when you say you're going to get it done and you don't get it done, now it's going to be like, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know what's going to happen here. But when you stay on course and stay disciplined yourself, things around you are going to have no choice but to either they're going to come close or they're going to get pushed away, because they can't deal with that. They can't deal with what I'm going to say is that honesty at the end of the day is what it is. And that's what's happening to these dogs. The dogs don't want to be around this dishonesty. They want to be around truthful, amazing people that are not lying to them. And the more and more that we're lying to them by saying we will and won't this and this, that, and we're not getting it done, the more the dog just wants to disrespect us, because at the end of the day, that's what we're doing to them, is disrespecting them. We're not giving them anything that they need. We're not giving anything that they desire. We're just using, abusing them, and bringing them in for the little Instagram picture to say, I got a dog and life is so great, the American dream, and got the dog, got the house, got the kids, everything's good, but then the dog is just in the corner. And then when the dog finally bites that kid, it's like, oh, whoa, whoa, what do we do here? And the dog this and the dog that. Dog messed up, the dog did this, dog, and no, why don't you ever think to yourself, what I didn't do? What I didn't change up with? What I didn't follow through with? It's something that, as much as I want to say your dog is the problem and I can fix your dog in 15 minutes, that's a lie for me to straight up say. With the more and more I keep on working with these dogs, that's a lie. I would be a straight up liar saying that I can fix your dog and your dog is going to be good to go for the remainder of the dog's life. That is not true. And most people, y'all all see this, because you can't just send the dog away and get the dog back and it's just perfect for the rest of its life. It's just good to go. It listens to everything. Everything is just right. That's not the way it works. And the way that every really, really good dog trainer knows, you have to spend an enormous amount of time with the owner of the dog to even think about getting any sort of success. Not no just 15 minutes, here's a dog back, have a great life. You got to spend a lot of time. You got to watch their daily schedule, what they're doing, what's happening with them, how they interact, and how they even petting, how they feeding the dog, where the dog's sleeping, what's going on with the dog during the day. You got to learn a lot to be able to make sure that someone can keep up with some things. But the biggest thing is now, as soon as they understand how to be able to have a good routine going, it's the discipline to stay at that. People want to use the word consistent. Consistency is the easy part of it. The discipline of actually being able to stay consistent. Consistent it's just whatever. But you got to make it happen. And that's the part that a lot of us are struggling. We're not making it happen. We're just standing around, sitting around, just doing absolutely nothing. Oh, this didn't work. Oh, that didn't work. And going into the, oh, woe is me's, and I can't this, and mine's not like that, and mine, you can never this with mine, and all these just weird stuff that we talk about with these dogs. And not only just that, but just life in general. We're not a disciplined human being to get anything done, but we want to discipline something else to make it look good for us. That is just so, that's where we're having a problem with dog training, because we think that we can punish or correct the dog. We can give the dog a reward and then punish. I still don't understand this concept of you're going to yank the leash, punish the dog, and then have the dog come back and then give it a reward. That's still very confusing to me. I keep pondering that concept over and over for the past years of how you could punish and treat at the same time and think that goodness is going to come from that. But that's what we do. We want to punish it, and then we want to say that it's good, because we, our own selves, are incapable of doing that. And that's something that it's the most valuable tool that you need to understand with being able to have nicer things around you. It's not a matter of getting that nice. It's a matter of getting yourself to be there. And that's the part where I just know a lot of people are stumbling, fumbling, thinking on how do this, how do that. When I get done and I do what I say I got to do, my dogs just listen to me. Simple. Seriously, it's that simple. When I take the Dalmatian out and I take her for runs, and now when she's running and playing with the chickens in the morning and doing what she's doing, she's starting to come back to me more. She's starting to really respond. She's starting to recall off. And when she's deep in it, some of them just don't run all that great. And she's dead. So I'm like, you can't mess with that one. You got to let it go. We're not out here to terrorize, and we can move them around. We're not out here to terrorize and just torture animals. It's just not what we're about out here. But when the animal gets into that torture, that frantic thing, then the dogs get wild. They get zoned in on it. And since I do this every day, over and over and over and over, I take her for her walks over and over and over and over. She's like, well, I can listen to that guy. He's getting done. Everything's the same way. And he's following through every single time regardless. The schedule is set up so that I'm going to be able to succeed. So I want to listen to this person. This person is able to allow me to be able to do more, get past fears of mine. This person is cool. I got her through the issue of going into water. I don't know what it was with water. She would just pump the brakes I ain't doing that. And we just got through that. And now she's like, this is awesome. Now every time we out there, she's freaking zipping, running, going crazy. And she looks at me like, this is awesome. This is great. And she says, thank you for doing that. And the main thing is, it's because I have disciplined myself to say, we're doing this, and we're doing this. We're making this happen. We're getting it done. And we're going to follow through every single time. I don't care what's going on. I don't care if my knee is hurting. I don't care if my foot's hurting. I don't care nothing. I'm getting something done that I need to get done. And if I'm incapable of walking and doing, then I will get something to make sure that I can get done what I need to get done. If I got to spend a little time, I got to rearrange my TV show tonight, then I'm going to rearrange that so I can skip that and get that done that I need to get done right now. It's the discipline on why things look good. It's not a matter of how I can control someone else to make them look good. Because if nothing wants to be around you, which is a very interesting thing, is a lot of people's dogs don't want to be around you because you're not able to do what it is that you're putting out there. You want something to do something, but you yourself don't act and don't make that happen. That's where we're having the disconnect. And that's where with human beings, it's easy to lie to each other. But the dogs, they see lies, man. They see deceitfulness. They see the trickery going all the time. They see it. They can like literally smell it out of you. They know when something weird is going on. They know when some games are going on that you're trying to like get them to do something that they just don't feel comfortable with. They know it. They see it. They're all about it. And that's the part that a lot of us are struggling with, because we want to have something that we aren't ourselves. And there's a disconnect happening. We got to like build that bridge together so that you do what you want from what you're trying to tell it to do. And that's something that takes discipline to be able to do. That takes the patience and the willingness and the care to want to figure out how to be able to get in a better place. As opposed to thinking that it should be this way. It should happen this way. I deserve this. I deserve that. No, that's just not the way this world works. And I know that that's a new language that they're trying to teach to the kids all out here with how everything is, but that's just not the reality of this world. This world is going to slap the heck out of you. It's going to slap you. If you don't get done what you say you're going to get done, it's going to destroy you. You're not going to be able to function in this planet if you just don't get done. You don't make it happen. You don't follow through. You just keep quitting. You keep on just not even trying. You keep on just, I'm not going to make it anyway, so I just don't even care. The world is going to just destroy you. And that's the what we're trying to do when we're trying to like get something else to be what we're not. It's going to destroy you. And unfortunately, that's what's happening with a lot of dogs, with a lot of people. The dogs are getting to the point that they're getting tough, man. They're getting tough. They're getting a lot of pushback. They're getting a lot of pushback. And that pushback at the end of the day is really, really dangerous at the end of the day. Where with another human being, it's pretty easy. They just leave. They just walk off. But the dogs can't just simply do that. And then we contain them even more. You know, the dog is a little wild in the house, so we contain it into that crate. When we contain it into that, now the dog has no outlet other than come out of that crate and be savage. So then that's when things just keep getting worse and worse and worse. Because we're putting expectations out there on something else that we don't put on our own selves. And once you put those expectations that you want on that dog, on your own self, watch how your world changes. Watch how every relationship in your life is going to change. Watch how everyone is going to view you, talk to you, appreciate you, respect you completely differently. When you finally just put out what you're getting and make it happen and follow through with it and stay disciplined yourself to do what it is that you have no choice but to do. But a lot of times, the reason on why we're stumbling, fumbling, and failing, because we're not doing what we need to do. We say we want it, but we don't do it. We say I wanna run this or make this happen, I wanna lose the weight, but you don't do it. So then when you say you wanna do it and then you don't do it, now the other people that you said that you're gonna do that to, like you had your goals and all this and you don't make any of it happen, now they look at you like, well, I don't know if I can believe in you. I don't know if I can trust you. I don't know if I should even listen to you anymore. And why wouldn't you think that the dog would be the same way? That you're gonna say you're gonna do something for that dog and the dog doesn't get it, it's gonna say, I can't trust you. I can't trust your word. I don't know nothing about you. I can't respect someone that I can't trust, and I can't trust someone that I don't respect. I can't be in a relationship with someone I don't trust and respect, so I don't want to be with you. I don't want to listen to you. I don't want to do nothing with you. And then that's when you call the dog's name, and the dog doesn't respond at all. It's just like, whatever. And that's the same concept with a human being. They don't respond. You know why? Because they move on. They move away. They block your phone number. They just, we're done. You got nothing going on here. But you don't do that with a dog. You force the dog more into containment, and that's why it starts to go absolutely wild. And something that I want a lot of people to think about is stop worrying about disciplining other stuff, but discipline your own self. When you discipline yourself, the other stuff around you is going to look much better. Much better. You're going to be able to effectively communicate. When you say, I don't want this, they're going to say, okay, well, that's not what we do. Because you've been consistent with saying and doing at the same time. You're being consistent at doing that, so now they can trust you. Because when you said, hey, I'll give you $10, and you gave them $10, the next time that person says, oh, anything, they're going to be more willing to listen because you actually did what you said that you were going to do. If someone said, I can get $10, I'll give it to you, and then you don't give it to them, next time they ask you anything, that person, they're not going to listen to anything you got to say. And that can happen on one occasion. They can lose trust on anything on this planet. One occasion could do that. And then it could take you 1,000 occasions to be able to build that, to get it back again. But one time you could destroy it. You could destroy everything that you've been doing in one time, one moment. And every married couple, anyone that been in a relationship with a human being, that you could be in that for 25 years, and that person could do one thing one day for 20 seconds. You could destroy everything that you've been doing, everything, and it may not come back, or when it comes, you got to do a lot than that 20-second thing to be able to make it come back. And something goes on with these dogs that they don't forget, but they'll forgive you and they'll move on, but they'll still remember what the heck was going on before. And that's something that we should really think about. Is if you say you want to do something, then you don't do it, the dog can't rely on you. It can't. It's just not simply going to be able to count on you for being there for it. So when it doesn't feel that it can count on you for being there for you, the dog's not going to listen to you because it doesn't know what's happening here. It can look at you and say, hey, I got to go potty, and you don't listen to him, and the dog's like, well, shoot, this, whatever, I'll go do it over here in the corner then. And then you come and you punish that dog, discipline, that the words we want to use is correct that dog for doing that, try to think that you want to get that dog out of that. Now you're just going down, 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 down. That's why the dog wants nothing to do with you. And then you come with the pressure, and the pressure trying to force the dog to do something, and then the dog just, it starts to just go down, 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 down. That's why in some dogs you're going to add pressure and you're good to go because you're actually listening to the dog. You're good to go. But that's just not the normal. The mass majority, that's not the situation going on. The mass majority of the situation is going on. The dog can't count on you. You say that you will, and then you don't, and the dog's like, I can't listen to you because you're wishy-washy with what you do. You're here one minute and you're there next minute. 1 week you're like, we're going on walks all the time, we're consistent, and we're getting it done. And then the next week it's like, oh, that's over with. And then 4 weeks later you do it again, and then 5 weeks later it's like, oh, well, that's done. So the dog can't count on you because you didn't discipline yourself to get done what you had to get done and make happen what you need to make happen. When you stay at that, I'm telling you, watch how things in your life look good. When you come up with that thought to say, I'll get home, I'm gonna clean the house, and just do it. I don't care how you feel. Okay, how tired you are. Okay, that your feet are sore. You do it. Make it happen. And if you that broke down and nothing will work, then you're gonna have to hire someone and tell them, I'll be here tonight so that you can come clean this house. And watch how your life is going to change. It's going to simply change. When you say to yourself, man, I really want to raise on my job right now, and you think to yourself, I want to raise, I should go ask the boss man, go ask the boss man and watch what happens to your life. Even if the boss man says no, I'm going to almost guarantee you at some point real soon, that's going to change to a yes. Because now you put it out there. You actually did. You actually said it. You actually spoke up. You actually followed through. That's what we need to worry more about on this life than how to put the next collar on this dog and how to condition them to this and condition them to that. You need to condition yourself to be able to get into a place that it should listen to you. And that's not easy, but it's easy because it's not like outside stuff that I need to like make happen. It's just you, your own self to make happen. You say to yourself, I'm going to take the kids to the park today. And then you get in the car and whatever's going on, oh, it's too tired, this and this, and you don't do it. Even if you didn't tell the kids that that's what you wanted to do, it was already put out there. And it's already on your body when you see them. And you don't do it, there's going to be something that's going to happen here. That the energy is off right now. Not in no like mystical type situation, but just something's going on that you said that you wanted to, but then you didn't. So now you have like this guilt that comes upon you. And everything around can see that. That you're like, I knew I should have did that, but I didn't do it. I knew I should have followed through with that, but I didn't do it. I knew I should have spoke up about that, but I didn't do it. That guilt comes on you. And that's where the dogs are going to read you because they knew you came home excited like, hey, we're going to this. And then you just change it up and the dog's looking at you like, well, what's going on? Like, what did you want to do? And then they get suspicious like, what was your plan here? And then you don't follow through with any of it. That's where we're struggling. We're not struggling with outside. We're struggling with inside. Inside what we're doing, what we got going on. I'm guaranteeing you this. If you do what you say, you're going to watch pretty much everything in your life to start to get much, much, much better. Thank you. Hey, Oreo? Oreo? Something that's just fascinating about these dogs. Fascinating in a way that when I put my rules in place, I'll say, of what I'm looking for. And I follow through with those rules. And I stay on it regardless. There's a lot that I'm going to say that I get myself in a jam because I got to do what I got to do. And the more I just keep following through with that and stay course with that, that's when I notice that just stuff, even with baby chick, everything starts to look good. When I decide, when I'm sitting here like I need to do something even just simple as fixing this coop up, all the baby chicks kept breaking out because the thing was too small at the bottom. I mean, too big. So they climbed through the little fence that I have. I just kept going day after day after day after day, just frustrated, 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 out here on a rampage almost some days. Like, oh my goodness, just trying to get them all back in there. And when I finally I already had the equipment, I already had everything I needed to do it too. Even more frustrating, knowing that you got all the supplies and you're just not doing it. And then when I finally just got it done, and I finally was like, "Whoo, we're finished." Got it all set up. It took 45 minutes, not even 8 hours or nothing. And then now I can sit back and just relax and just enjoy. And that's the same experience that we're doing with everything in our lives. The more that we just sit back and don't do it, the more that we're building this frustration, as opposed to just sitting down and relaxing. When you finally just take the dog, get the exercise, you can sit and you're done. You can relax now. And when you relax, you're gonna watch the dog relax. But when you don't do it, you got this you got this extraness. And that extraness is what these animals, these dogs in specific, can see. But your spouse can see it as well. Your spouse can see when you knew you were wanted to do something, but you didn't do it. They can see it. They can see it. And most people just won't say it, but the dogs will. And the dogs will do it in a way that is going to frustrate you even more, because they're so honest and so true and so pure that they're going to get in your feelings, man. They're going to get in your feelings because they represent like just truth, honest, and just joy and fun and freedom. And when they're not getting and being in any of that, it's because of stuff that we are neglecting to do, not because of something that the dog is messing up with.